Hello everyone, this is Blake Temez again with the Blake Temez podcast, and I'm going to be reflecting on a couple of new concepts today and connecting them to things that I've already discussed in the realm of internal family systems and then systems thinking in general. So today's topics are the idea of the master and the emissary, introduced by the works of Ian McGilchrist. Now, the idea of the master and the emissary map on to what we often think about when we think about the differences between left brain and right brain. Now, the master is the part of the mind that is associated with imagination, with a broad scope of attention, with a kind of finesse and a dealing with persons and emotions, and that range of things. I hope that you can see kind of the interconnections between them. It can also be considered in terms of an appreciation and understanding of things like music and poetry. Now, the emissary brain, by contrast, is that part of the mind that is associated with narrow attention and targeting things and achieving them, of assimilating data and beginning to make sense of it towards the ends of a goal. It's more attuned to information, but could have a difficulty of appreciating the meaning behind a narrative and perhaps only seeing it as a series of scenes with no inherent connection. Now, these comparisons that I'm making between the master brain, so-called, and the emissary brain have been discussed recently by Paul Vanderklay on his YouTube channel, and so much of this current conversation is inspired by Paul's musings. But I was listening to his reflection and was struck by its connection to the principles behind internal family systems. Now, as a quick review of that from my episode, The Many Parts of You, internal family systems posits a multiplicity in the human personality, that there are many parts of us that are sub-personalities, and that there is also a self that is meant to coordinate the activities and the attention of the many parts in an adaptive way, so that there's a sense of integration, of peaceful inner harmony, and an ability to pursue objectives without being blended into concern for just a narrow agenda. And when I think about the difference between the master and the emissary, I was associating the master brain, the master mind, with the role of the self in IFS, and the emissary role with the roles that the many different parts of us play. Now, McGilchrist, again, the originator of the master-emissary dichotomy or relationship description, sees in the modern world a inability to access the faculties of the master brain and an over-reliance and valuing of the features of the emissary brain, and that being a consequence of education, of just large cultural forces over time. He also pins his ideas in different aspects of neuropsychology more recently, and evolutionary biology and all of that, so there's a scientific dimension as well. But in terms of values and education, he sees the modern world as being kind of bound in that emissary mode and lacking access to the master mode. And so this bears a great deal on what I hope to discuss moving forward in the realm of spirituality and spiritual formation and different practices within the Christian context that draw from ancient forms in order to speak to the modern moment so that we, as a collective in the modern world who rely so heavily on the emissary mode, can reestablish connection with the master aspect of our minds and benefit from a more harmonious relationship between the master and the emissary. And again, in parts language, in IFS language, between the self and the parts. And so that's part of the project here, at least some of it. And so I hope that you can see the connection between these ideas and how, when taken together, they can scale. Again, there are these layers of systems. They can scale our attention from our internal system to larger systems, all the way up to quote-unquote Western culture, right? And how the system that is affecting us individually, as families, as neighborhoods, and again, up and up, all up the scale of hierarchy of systems. And so that's the gist of today's message. I'll be participating in a day retreat for the formation program I'm a part of as a lay ecclesial minister. And so I'm going to end it here. But I encourage you to do some more thinking about this. Again, please comment if you have any ideas or contributions to make in this area from your personal experience or areas of expertise. And I thank you very much for your time and your attention. God bless.